Brian here from Silver Skin Coffee, and today I just want to run through some of the troubleshooting and some of the issues that we've had with the E65s GVW. So indeed some of our colleagues have had and have spoke to us about. So a few basics about the grinder. First thing I'd say is don't forget, if you're making any adjustments or you want to take this grinder apart or you want to do anything with it, to take the lock off the back before you go adjusting the grinder and moving the top plate. The lock on the back needs to be set to unlock. This particular unit, or the problem that we had with a unit which was in a customer's cafe, was what we've begun to call the green screen of death. So when you place a weight on the load cell, you'll get a red light here. You can see it's going to tear the portafilter or any weight that you put on it, and then begin to reset and then begin to grind 18 grams. So occasionally after it grinds, the grinder will show a green screen. Occasionally this gets stuck. You can't do anything, the machine is just stuck on green. Okay, so the issue we were having was the display initially was showing green as if a grind cycle had finished and it wasn't resetting, and this has happened a couple of times across a few different units. If this display is green and is not resetting itself, you just need to go into the master reset by double click on the right hand side. You can go into settings, safety and passwords, and we'll pop up the password on screen. It's 6781. Six, 7, 8, 1. We've logged in as owner, and we can go back out, go into service, and we can reset the grinder in this menu. So if you have a green screen and the grinder won't reset itself, it's good to try the master reset. The issue we were having with the unit that came back was the screen was green for a time, then it returned to this transparent colour. The edit button for the scales disappeared, and it would intermittently just spit out coffee when it was turned on or off. The cell here was showing red and the screen was showing red. So the unit was with a customer for about 4 or 5 days, and they were constantly trying to check by taking off the cover and putting stuff on the load cell, taking the hopper off and resetting the machine, but they could not get it out of this green screen or red screen mode. So today is a fix for that. What you want to do if you get the grinder back is you need to make sure that you can get into the programming. These guys couldn't. So we checked the hopper, we took it off, we checked the grinder itself, we took the top off, we cleaned the blades, we took the clump crusher out, we removed the spout. If you want to do any of these things, you can check out some of our other videos across the Mahlkonig range. The screen, as I said, the edit button was missing, and this was dummied. We could do nothing whatsoever. We couldn't go through the menu. So what they had effectively was one manual button where they could grind, and a grinder which was switching itself on and off and just coffee spitting out of it. So after we went through a few checks, we came to the load cell where the problem was, because the screen was going red and then green as if something was being put in it and taken off. So we just held the load cell out. Sometimes I think this piece from the portafilter pushing in against it all the time and pushing in with the heat can get stuck here. We pulled the load cell out away from the body just ever so slightly, which allowed me the ability to go back in to the program. When I could go into the program, immediately I entered into the password settings and I put the password in, and we did a reset. This had no effect on the grinder. When I turned it off and turned it back on again, the cell here, the screen was showing red as if there was something on the load cell. This edit button was gone again, and we could just manually grind coffee. So what we did was we held the load cell out once again, went through the same procedure, but this time when I went in, we entered in the password, we went to the service menu, we checked the error log and what had happened, and we found that there was an overload on the cell, so somebody had put too much pressure on it, or somebody had pushed it against the unit, or indeed it had just become kind of stuck there from the heat, but this cell was too close to the body of the grinder. What we did was we went in to the load cell and we calibrated it. And if you enter in here, it will ask you to put a 1 kilo weight on the load cell. We didn't have 1 kilo readily available, so we basically made one up with a couple of weights and some green beans inside a cup. We made sure that we had 1 kilo. We popped it on here and recalibrated the load cell, which completely reset the grinder and fixed. So no need to send it back to Mahlkonig. A pretty easy fix, although if you didn't know where to look, it can be quite difficult, especially if you're in a cafe. So there you have it.